Hey everyone, and welcome. If producer theory feels like a tough nut to crack in your NET exam prep, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are going to build a rock-solid, intuitive understanding of the production function. By the end of this, it'll feel like second nature. Let's jump right in. So, here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the core function itself. Then we'll draw a really clear line between the short run and the long run. After that, we'll get into the key product metrics, break down the 3 stages of production, touch on some essential long-run concepts, and then wrap it all up with a quick-fire recap to make sure you're 100% ready for that exam.
Look, I get it. This topic can feel a little abstract at times. But trust me, by the time we're done here, all the pieces are going to click into place. We're going to make this super simple and clear.
Okay, to make this real, let's invent a guy named Ravi. And Ravi is starting a t-shirt factory. Now, to make any t-shirts at all, he needs 2 basic things, right? He needs labor, his workers, which we'll call L, and he needs capital, his t-shirt printing machines, which we'll call K. You see, production doesn't just happen by magic. There's a rule connecting the stuff you put in to the stuff you get out. That rule is the production function. All this fancy formula, Q equals F of LK, is really saying is that the quantity of t-shirts Ravi can make, that's Q, is some function of the labor and capital he uses. It's that simple. Inputs in, output out. Okay, let's dive into our first huge concept, and you really need to pay attention here because this is absolutely critical for your exam, knowing the difference between the short run and the long run. So think about it. In the short run, Ravi can't just snap his fingers and get a new factory or a new machine. That stuff takes time. So at least one of his inputs is fixed. In this case, his capital, his machines, are fixed. And by the way, that's what that little bar over the K means. It's fixed. The only way he can change his output is by hiring more workers. But in the long run, everything is changeable. He has enough time to build a new factory, buy more machines, and hire more workers. All right, write this down, screenshot this, whatever you need to do. Here is a golden rule for your exam. If a question says anything about one factor is fixed, your brain needs to immediately scream short run. If it says all factors are variable, you know without a doubt you're in a long run world. This little trick is going to help you out so much. Okay, this is where the real fun begins. Let's dig into the numbers and talk about the 3 key ways we measure what a firm is actually producing: total, average, and marginal product. First up, total product, or TP. Super simple. It's the grand total of t-shirts Ravi makes. Easy. Next is average product, AP. That's just the output per worker. You take the total and divide it by how many people are working. And finally, the most interesting one, marginal product, MP. This tells you how much extra output you get from hiring just one more person. Let's put some numbers to this. Check out the table. When Ravi goes from 2 workers to 3, what happens? The total product jumps from 25 to 45. That increase, that extra 20 t-shirts, that's the marginal product of the 3rd worker. And the average product for those 3 workers? Well, that's just 45 total t-shirts divided by 3 workers, which gives us 15. See how that works? Now, this table shows one of the most famous laws in all of economics. At first, adding workers is great. The marginal product goes up from 10 to 15 to 20. They're working together, specializing. It's awesome. But look what happens after that 3rd worker. The 4th worker only adds 15 t-shirts, and the 5th only adds 10. Why? Suddenly, the factory's getting cramped. Workers are bumping into each other, waiting for a machine. That is the law of diminishing marginal product in action. Okay, eyes on the screen, because this right here, this is a classic NET exam question. The relationship between marginal and average is pure gold. Think about your test scores. If you get a new score, your marginal score, that's higher than your current average, what happens? It pulls your average up. If your new score is lower, it drags your average down. It's the exact same logic. And the key takeaway, when your marginal product is exactly equal to your average is at its absolute peak. All right, let's build on that and talk about another absolute favorite for the NET exam, the 3 stages of production. This is the framework that tells us where a smart business owner wants to operate. So as Ravi keeps hiring more people for his fixed-size factory, he's going to go through 3 distinct phases. First, there's stage 1, where he sees increasing returns. Then he hits stage 2, where those diminishing returns we just talked about start to bite. And finally, if he keeps hiring, he'll hit stage 3, where things get, well, they get bad, negative returns. Now, out of all these, stage 2 is the magic number. It is the sweet spot. Here's why. In stage 1, Ravi's not using his factory efficiently. Machines are just sitting there. In stage 3, he's hired so many people that they're literally tripping over each other, and adding one more worker actually reduces his total output. So any rational firm will always operate in stage 2, where total output is still growing, even if it's at a slower pace.
And that leads us to another dead simple exam trick. If a question asks, where does a rational producer choose to operate? The answer is always, without fail, stage 2. Lock it in.
All right, we have absolutely nailed the short run. Now let's zoom out and think about the long run, where Ravi can change everything, both his workers and his machines. This is where we meet some new ideas, like Isoquants and the MRTS. The easiest way to think about an isoquant is like an indifference curve, but for production. The name sounds complicated, but it's not. Iso just means equal, and quant means quantity. So an isoquant is just a curve that shows all the different combinations, all the different recipes of labor and capital that can produce the exact same amount of t-shirts. And just like indifference curves, they have some key properties you have to remember. They slope down because, hey, if you hire more people, you probably need fewer machines to get the same job done, right? They're convex, which just reflects that it gets harder and harder to substitute one for the other. And they can never, ever cross. And that downward slope? That has a name. It's the MRTS, or the marginal rate of technical substitution. It's just a fancy way of saying, how many machines can I give up if I hire one more worker and still make the same number of t-shirts? And the formula you need to remember is that the MRTS is just the marginal product of labor divided by the marginal product of capital.
Whew, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's lock it all in with a super fast recap and a couple of practice questions to make sure you're feeling totally confident heading into your exam. You ready?
First up, a rational firm always chooses to operate in which stage of production? What was that trick we talked about? Stage 1, 2, or 3? Of course, the answer is B, stage 2. It is the only rational place to be. Okay, question number 2. When marginal product is equal to average product, what's happening with average product? Is it going up, down, or is it at its peak? What did our gold relation tell us? That's right, the answer is C. It's at its maximum. All right, let's do one final super fast review. These are the things you absolutely have to remember. Short run means at least one factor is fixed. The big law is that marginal product eventually diminishes. The rational stage to operate in is always stage 2. An isoquant shows you all the recipes for the same level of output, and the MRTS is the ratio of the marginal products. Keep these points locked in, and you are going to do great. Good luck!